I'm at Home Depot today. I got some supplies here that I need to touch up around the house, but like I'm looking for this one thing. It's a plumbing deal. Having a hard time looking for that shit. There's just so much here, you know. I found it. There's these things right here. This little flapper deal. It goes bad inside of the toilet. So just have to make a decision here. So here are the supplies that I'm getting. I don't know if WD-40 was that expensive. My water was leaking through the commode there. And I really couldn't figure out the source up until I opened the tanker and I looked inside of it. As I looked inside, you can see deep in there that, you see that? Like there's a little bit of water leaking through, so it was almost always dripping. And that was causing my water bill to go up. And so it needed some intervention. Yuck. Now remember, I'm doing two different fixes in this video. One was to fix the water leak, and the second is I'm actually going to be installing bidets on about 3 different toilets in the house. There are 4. One already has a bidet. So in order for you to install a bidet, you have to ensure that the entire tanker is completely empty, or else you can have a big mess on your hands, because replacing the pipe underneath it is going to cause a massive leak. So I go through and I manually drain the water by using a napkin to go down the hole that way. Now I'm back at Home Depot because a flapper that I purchased earlier from Home Depot was too small. And so I had to get a replacement, and this was my second trip to get a large size flapper for the toilet.
What kind of weight is driving and how far that motherfucker could weigh?
Yeah, that shit's old. It's not gonna fucking go anywhere.
It has a shift inside of the transmission seal that I should try to fix it. Whoever gave that transmission told him that they sold him a new transmission, and it's not a new transmission.
You gotta stop buying old ass shit cars.
Yeah, man, you gotta get the right shit or they're all fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
It's okay. We're gonna work it out right now. See the thing? But then Darius just graduated, right?
Right.
Darius is free, you know what I'm saying? Them two for short. And then not in with Tommy, shit, they can just come. Well, no. You know what the problem. So,
Yeah, I'm not trying to get the fucking just teenagers to come.
I mean, honestly, Mars, if you want, bro, I can come. I can come with the boys, like today, like tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? They just come do it and then come back, because we still got a couple of days. So, well, going out on tomorrow, I got the guy coming in. So last night.
All right, so the large flapper is installed, and I put an entire gallon of my emergency water in there, and it just went right through. It did not sustain. It just leaked right through. So that was a fail. That large flapper, I don't know what was up with it. I have no idea. So it was a fail. Another trip to Home Depot. Now remember, I'm doing 2 completely different instructionals in this video. This is a different toilet. And all that white stuff inside of that, that's actually, see that crack outside? See, when you rent homes to people, and make sure that when they leave that you have done a thorough inspection. I'm new in the game of like renting out my homes and stuff. So what my previous tenant did was he had left a crack in that toilet, and I saw that there was water leaking through the bottom. And so I had to get this mortar stuff, right? This stone inside of a tube, and then cover the crack on the outside and on the inside. When I opened the top of the tanker up and I looked inside, it has that gooey stuff. Now, in order to attach the bidet attachment, you need to remove the seat completely. I did have to remove the screws there. You see that? There's a connection in the back and there's one at the top. And so to completely unhinge the toilet seat, you have to get those screws off from the top and from the bottom. That's, kind of securing it in place. All right, this is foreshadowing to another horrible experience in between this experience. So the attachment is there. You can clearly see that little plastic piece that's in between the toilet seat and the porcelain, right? But as I was trying to screw that in, I stripped it. Like I went sideways into the bottom piece, and it just completely messed up the screw. Third trip to the same aisle in Home Depot. Wait, dang. Hopefully third time is a charm. So after the third trip to Home Depot, we come back with a more expensive flapper. This is the universal one that was there in the previous video. You saw it. But that's the one that I got right there. This is a universal flapper. It was more plasticky. It was less rubber. At first, I didn't trust it. But then later on, it looked good. So I went ahead and installed it. And the chain just needed a little bit of adjusting, like it was a little too long right there. But I went ahead and readjusted it. All right, so the flapper tutorial is over. It was just replacing a flapper is pretty simple. Now, for the bidet attachments, I had completely annihilated those screws. Remember, those plastic screws. So I had to go to Home Depot, get some more attachments, come back over here. And then this time I was just a lot more careful. I found my adjustable wrench. I found my drill. And then I just slowly went through the process of going and screwing them back in. Just securing the bidet to the toilet seat. If you see that white mortar stuff on the side of that toilet, that's because previous tenant messed up the tanker there, and it was making the water leak. And that water leak was making the wood over there get a little moldy. So like I had to put mortar and stuff on it right now. Like I wasn't going to replace the entire toilet because it didn't need to be. So now that the attachment part has been done, let's move on to the plumbing part of it. This is where you attach the water line to the commode and to the tanker, right? And in order for you to be able to attach the water line and not have any leaks or anything like that, you see there's a noise that kind of will scare you because, the water could come flying out or anything. But luckily we turned that line off. And so now I'm just cleaning it up a little bit and making sure that we're able to do the attachments. Now, here's another attachment that came with it, and there's some Teflon tape. Anytime that you ever connect, see these threads just like this, you want to ensure that you have some of that Teflon tape, that sealant tape there, so the water doesn't come out, right? So you have this good tight seal around the threads. So the attachment, that T attachment has been attached to the bottom of the tanker with the Teflon tape on it, and it's all sealed up nice and good. So now I'm just going to go ahead and reconnect that main water line back into the bottom of the tanker, and then that other line that's coming out from the front of the tanker into the handle of the bidet, so you can control the on and off switch. So how do you like all that grunting in the back? I could have put some music over it, I guess. But I think I'm just going to leave the grunting there. That toilet is complete. This is the one on the third floor. This one's completely untouched, and I'm gonna go through this one super fast because I've already done the installments and trial and error of the previous one. So again, just detach the main line in the back. Once you have ensured that the tank is completely drained, drain the tank, flush it many times, then take that napkin, then use a napkin to bring the water down through the pipe. Make sure nothing is in the tank whatsoever. And then go in the back and detach that, the main pipe right there. Now that that has been complete, you want to detach the seat. You guys remember this part, just hit it with a drill and the back part will automatically fall off. It's like that. And the second side, you just repeat the process pretty much. So there's the plastic attachment to the seat right there. The gaskets are on. I just place it there. You guys remember this part. It's fairly simple. All you do is just layer the seat on top of it, and you get your little plastic screws. Hopefully you don't cross thread it. And if you gently just screw them back in, the seat should be secure. Then I just connected the main line using Teflon tape, to the entire commode. Then I go back down to the garage and I turn the main water line on and feel that sort of chaotic rush of water coming down through the pipes again. And I start to look at all the tanks and look for leakages and such. This is the first tank on the bottom floor. This one here just needed a flapper. It did not need a bidet attachment. So it looks like that flapper is good to go. I just wanted to go ahead and secure it in there. I was bleeding because one of the screws on the threads of that attachment was super sharp, and so I was just working with it. Anywho, so I run upstairs real quick. So the first toilet just checked out, right? There are 4 toilets. So that bottom one just checked out. So here's the second one. I hurry up and go and take a look at it, check for leaks, check to see if everything's working fine. Everything's looking good here. And let's check the bidet. Oh, there you go. Now you can brush your teeth with it.